Travis is a naughty boy, but Billy's the good one. Jack trusts Phyllis back. What is happening on Y&R this week? It's just all topsy-turvy, and we'll talk about it on Restless Wrap-Up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There's our song, guys, and I apologize for my dry mouth, but I'll try to keep it wet like this week on Y&R. Wait, that sounded really filthy. Well, I'm your host, Lacretia Lyon, guys, and you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one, but there isn't just one of us here. I have my lovely co-host, as always.
Thank you, Lacretia. Yeah, I was dancing like the music was still playing. I love that Y&R theme. In my dreams, I will, yes. I'm Abbey Scott. If you guys want to follow me, you can at below. I would love to be your BFFs, and yeah, we're talking everything to do with this week in Genoa City.
Yeah, this was a strange week in Genoa City. I mean, of course, we started on Monday where we left off with Jack having Phyllis in that big embrace, kissing her. But then he's just like, no, icky, get away. And I'm just like, no, because even though I thought it was too soon, I just like them together the way they're writing them now.
Yeah, I was super bummed that, you know, he immediately turned her down and kind of pushed her away. Because, like, I mean, they stopped kissing and then they started kissing again. So you would think that he was into it. And then he completely blamed her. Like, it was her decision and he kissed her. I don't know. Jack, I don't know what's going
Jack.
through. Yeah, boo. We're not Team Jack anymore.
I know. I mean, eventually we'll be back on Team Jack because I'm sure he'll just woo us again, just like those Abbott men always do.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, I just couldn't believe that, you know, he went there and they were doing so well, and then he doesn't want, I mean, it's all about him not wanting to get hurt again. And I get his point of view, but at the same time, it's like, Phyllis right now is doing everything she can to help you, and it's kind of sweet. I mean, at first it seemed pathetic, but once she immediately dropped Billy and was like, no, that's not what I want, it was a mistake, you know, because of the Marco situation, we were able to understand Phyllis's point of view, and right now I'm rooting for her.
Absolutely. I mean, they're meant to be together, and hopefully Jack will, you know, come to his senses and not have his wall up. I mean, she is really proving herself. And I think Ashley doesn't even want to admit it, but she even feels that way, you know? I mean, maybe a little bit. She's not going to say it. And obviously Tracy is the most reasonable sister, but we'll talk about that, I guess, later. But yeah, I mean, I feel really bad for Phyllis, and I never thought I would actually say that, but I do, because I think that her and Jack are meant to be together, and I think she's proved herself over and over again. I mean, she's like Billy Who, so I mean.
Yeah, and I think even Ashley, like you said, is starting to see that, you know, Phyllis isn't even wanting to take credit for the stuff she's doing. She's putting it back on Jack and Ashley and giving them all of it. And I really loved her conversation with Tracy. It was so great to see Tracy back, but Tracy is just the best person in Genoa City, I swear. She's just such a sweet woman, and she knew what happened between both of her brothers and Phyllis, but didn't judge Phyllis one bit, you know, wanted to know how she was doing. That's just who Tracy is.
Yeah, they had a really sweet conversation, and she is so down to earth. And even Phyllis said, she's like, you're like the one person that doesn't, like, you know, give it to me.
Yeah.
And is sweet and understanding of the situation. And hopefully she can talk some sense into Jack, because I do believe that Jack and Phyllis are meant to be together, and I think they do genuinely love each other, and I think this has proved it. Because I honestly thought that Billy and Phyllis were just going to end up together. I thought that's what Billy wanted, and I'm just really surprised. So it must mean that she really loves Jack.
And I feel that a lot of it does have to do with the writer regime change. I feel that, you know, back when Chuck Pratt Jr. was in there, he was intending for Billy and Phyllis to be in game, and now it's flipped. But I will say, I can't necessarily say I like it one way better or the other, but as far as the people we have right now, it is Phyllis and Jack and Billy and Victoria. That's who belong together. And I feel that the new writing regime is just trying to right some wrongs that they noticed that people maybe, you know, longtime fans maybe didn't want to see Billy and Phyllis together.
Yeah. I could see that. You know, it would really be like a stab in the back for Billy to do that to his brother and then actually like then be with Phyllis. So I could see why they didn't go in that direction, but I mean, you know, you never know in Jeddah City. They do a lot of crazy stuff. So I saw it coming, Billy and Phyllis, but like you said, it may have been like a writer thing. But I definitely think now Billy needs to be with Victoria. Victoria needs to dump Travis ASAP.
Yeah, let's talk about Travis. You know, I could have dealt with him just kissing her because he was drunk and then realizing what a mistake it was and leaving. But the fact that Travis actually slept with Michelle, it's just like, sorry, you know, it's flipping now. Billy's the golden boy, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was talking up Travis. He was like talking sense into Victoria about Travis, that he really is a good guy. And I love it how it flashed back and forth to him then, and him and Michelle making out and then obviously sleeping together. But I saw it coming. I knew him and Michelle. I mean, they have like this connection. And I love it how it's like all like hot and steamy, and then he just comes to his senses and like is like, no, I want to be with Victoria.
Yeah, because you see that who Michelle really is. She's not a good person. She is looking to cause trouble. And Travis at heart is a good guy, just like Billy is a good guy. And I really liked Billy saying, you know, because he understands Travis. They're a lot more alike than initially thought. And this is something that Billy would have done. And Billy, you know, understands his point of view, but he's got to protect Victoria now that he knows the full truth. And I like that. He was trying to help him out because he thought that's what... Travis was the best person. He thought that Travis wouldn't have done that. So he's like, I love Victoria enough and I want to push them together because Travis is this great guy that my kids love too. But yeah.
Right. I know Travis, we were talking about Travis being Mr. Perfect. So I knew something like this was going to come. And with talking about Michelle, her coming into town, and, you know, Victoria being hard on him. So I don't know if they can like withstand this though, like their relationship. I don't know if it will, like once, you know, Victoria knows the truth of really what happened, if she's going to stay with him, because I don't know. I wouldn't be able to stay because with somebody that cheated, you know?
To me, if Travis had come clean immediately, I probably would have been able to forgive him. As I say, you know, I made the joke before the show about I don't want to feel like Ross on Friends, but they were kind of on a break. She'd kicked him out. Like, he thought it was over. So you could... as mad as you would be in the moment, you could understand his point of view. But the fact that he is yet to come clean makes Travis...
and he knows that Ashley knows. That's what I don't understand. It's like, Travis, do you really think it's not going to come out? And Ashley's brother is Billy?
Yeah.
And that's what the first thing that she did. But, yeah, he needs to really, like, put his thinking cap on and be like, okay, maybe it's better if I tell Victoria now and lessen the damage. The same thing with Sharon. It's like a lot of people would have maybe actually felt for her if she just revealed it on her own without having, like, you know, Patty and everything. It's just...
Yeah, and I know some people speculated when Travis first came on and it was known that he was going to stay for a little while, that Travis could be related to Sharon. It's like, well, this makes you seem like a family. How long you're going to hold on to this secret, Travis? So that would be interesting to see because, you know, maybe they'll, or, you know, maybe they'll understand each other, won't be related. That could be Sharon's new romance because, for love of God, don't put her back with Nick after Dylan leaves.
Sharon's new romance. I think Sharon needs to be alone or like in a mental ward or something.
Yeah, Sharon needs some definite, you know, introspection. But you know how on soaps they don't like single women.
No. They always have to put them up or like, you know, someone's cheating with somebody. But I genuinely like Travis. I think he does love Victoria. But I don't know. I don't think Victoria is really going to put up with that. Yeah,
I feel that even if he were to come clean right after the proposals, she's going to be like, then why didn't you come clean then? Or, you know, just like with Ashley knowing, Ashley's the one who blew up the Billy Phyllis situation. And now Billy knows. What is Billy going to do since Victoria, you know, was proposed to by Travis the last time he saw?
Exactly. And he's so close. Billy is so close to telling Victoria. Like, he is like biting his tongue. He so badly wants to tell her the truth. I mean, he looked like he was almost going to cry.
Yeah.
Right? I was just like, he really loves her. And so he's not going to, I don't think he's going to let this go on.
Yeah, I feel that Billy is going to feel like, he doesn't want to blow up her happiness, but at the same time, she needs to know if Travis isn't going to be honest. I feel that Billy's going to make one more plea for Travis to be honest, but then if he's not, he'll blow it up. And, Jill will just be like, I told you so. I love her.
Jill's already like scheming and happy. Yeah. I mean, maybe her wishes will come true. I mean, we've been kind of making fun of Jill, but it's like, I think it's working, whatever she, I mean, with relationships like this, it's like it all kind of comes together. You don't have to do anything. They will all, like, the hangman will hang himself,
Exactly. That's the thing with Jill is like, you really didn't even have to set this up. It's working as you thought, but you didn't have to set it up because, the chips will fall where they may. Like Phyllis and Jack getting back together, Billy and Victoria, you see it. Because, perfect white Travis is starting to slip.
Unless we find out that Jill is the one who called Michelle to come back to town. Then it's Jill's mastermind.
That would be interesting. And I wouldn't put it past Jill to do that. To be like, hey, I know where your boy Travis is. I hear you're going through a divorce.
Right? But yeah, Michelle is just not a nice person.
Yeah.
She showed it when she said, I'm not going to ruin your relationship with Victoria. I see how much you love her. And then she immediately went and told Ashley. She just showed her colors completely. And it's like, Travis didn't do that to you. When the shit hit the fan with your, you decided to stay in your marriage and Travis left town. I mean, he kind of had to, but he did. He left town and now she's kind of being hypocritical. Now that he has something good, he's in a relationship, and now that she's getting a divorce, it's like, I want you back. It's like, oh, but you didn't want me when, shit hit the fan.
Yeah, and Ashley seems to feel that way about Michelle as well. It's not just our, perception of it. Ashley seems to think that Michelle is this devious person who's not really interested in Travis. She's just interested in meddling. And that's why I like that Ashley is sort of involved in this, but I want to see more. I want to see at least Ashley try to, help the situation because, we need cat fights.
We need cat fights. It might happen if she doesn't get on that plane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If she doesn't get on that plane, I think that Ashley's going to attack her. I mean, the way she followed Travis upstairs, I mean, I was like, whoa.
And I liked that in that moment, Travis was like, yeah, get your stuff, leave, get out. I don't really want you. I want to be with Victoria. And he really showed that in proposing to her. And I think that Travis does mean it. I feel that this whole situation with Michelle was just him backpedaling. He was drunk, things like that. I don't think he admitted to still having feelings, but it's very similar to Phyllis and Billy. I think that there's that feeling there because of the danger that it was, but it wasn't real because Michelle just seems like, a bad person.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like a nice person at all. But yeah, I mean, I do think Travis genuinely loves Victoria. I think that's a given. And I was like thinking when he got down on one knee, I like felt it coming, but then I was like, where did he get the ring? That was pretty fast. Like, where did he?
Yeah, maybe he's been planning this a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, was he planning this? I'm like, but he couldn't have been planning it because then he would have maybe stopped himself before he slept with his ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Like, I feel like in next week, it's definitely going to be revealed that he slept with Michelle, and I'm just, it's going to be a lot of drama going down.
Yeah, I don't see them sitting on this too long. I feel that too many people already know that it's going to come out. I don't think it'll last till the wedding because, I feel that this will be resolved and we'll push Billy and Victoria back together. And I feel that if Travis is staying around, he's going to be more in the Ashley Abbey orbit because they keep showing scenes with them together. And I do like that Ashley's like, no, Travis is a good father to my niece and my nephew. And he's a part of my family. I like that Ashley was concerned about, what was best for Travis and what was best for the kids. And, it wasn't just about like, oh, this is going to push Billy back with Victoria. We were selfish. No, she was like, this is going to hurt the children if you do this.
Absolutely. It's going to hurt the children, but it's the same thing with like well, it's not kind of the same thing. Maybe a little bit, like Sharon playing God. It's like, it's really Victoria's decision if she wants to stay with Travis after knowing the truth. She deserves to know the truth. And I think that's what ultimately is going to, Billy is going to just come to that realization and tell Victoria, because he's like, she needs to know. She needs to make this decision on her own.
Yeah.
And he even walked in on, their proposal. I mean, he didn't walk in, but he saw it from a distance.
Yeah, and I feel that Billy is going to make one last plea to Travis about being honest with her first before he does it, because Billy actually has affection for Travis himself, and that because he understands him and they are similar. And I like that it's not just he hates this guy. It's more interesting that way.
No, he can definitely, they relate to each other. They are very similar, Billy and Travis, and you can see Billy growing and getting more mature. And so he kind of is now looking at Travis as like, oh, that's like the old Billy. The old Billy would have done something like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so mature. It's like, Billy, you have a long way to go, okay? But he's acting so mature, even like more mature than his older brother, Jack.
Yeah, I like that it sort of flipped, and and it makes sense because Billy's took a look at his life and what was going on and why all these bad things were happening, and he's trying to change that. It makes sense for his character development in this flip, and he is sort of doing the right thing. And that's all thanks to Jason Thompson, whose birthday is today. Thanks for the heads up, Candace Mack.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Jason Thompson. And we've got some other comments here in the chat about Travis and Billy. Candace Mack, Travis, Aaron Brody's like, I couldn't believe that Travis slept with Victoria right after he slept with Michelle. And I know. And Candace Mack brings up he did take her for a walk before, I guess,
that was so uncomfortable.
It was so
to the
odd.
underground, and then they ran into
Nick and
Chelsea. I was like, oh, this is so uncomfortable.
It was so awkward, and then Michelle shows up, but it's like Travis just obviously didn't have another one in the tank, so he needed a break. And then as soon as they go home, they have sex. And I'm just like, he didn't even shower, Travis. That's gross.
I was actually thinking the same thing. I was like, am I weird for thinking this? But I'm absolutely thinking that. Aaron, oh no, I love Travis. So yeah, we have Travis.
I like Travis too.
I love Travis too. Oh, he's really good looking. Hey, but he does seem endearing. He does seem to really genuinely care for Victoria. He wanted to win over Victor. I mean, he wants to be liked so bad, and you can see that. And Billy, I think, can relate to that. And that's what he was trying to say to Victoria, is like, it's not easy to date a Newman at all. It's like, you guys are pretty intimidating, especially your dad. Not that that's a newsflash to her, but I think you forget about that when you're like always around, you know what I mean? Like you forget that it's like, wow, we are pretty intimidating, us Newmans.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and that's why it was sort of cute to see the double date sort of with Travis and Victoria and Chelsea and Nick, and the contrast that is those relationships. Because the thing with Chelsea and Nick and how that's coming together is Chelsea's used to this. She was married to Adam more than once, and that Nick is a cakewalk compared to the relationship that Adam had with the Newman family. So she fits right in. But say people like, certainly Billy being an Abbott was never going to work out, as far as Victor was concerned. But with Travis, he's sort of new, but he's getting treated the same way, because he's got this sordid past.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's harder for Travis because he has skeletons in the closet. He had at first the whole situation with Michelle. No one knew about it. And then when Ashley kind of revealed that, it seems like Ashley's really like, Ashley, you should be a detective. I just got you a new job. You can work for the Genoa City Police Department.
Or she could go work at GC Buzz, since she knows all the gossip already.
I know, right? She could be the first to reveal it. Hillary, no. Ashley's got the gossip first. Hey, she's already in the hotel room before you know. That was like so hilarious. I was like, oh my God, creeper much? No, but it was a great moment to have her there. But yeah, Aaron Brody, yes, that was disgusting. He didn't even shower first. I'm glad everyone else kind of felt the same way as us, because that was definitely going through my head. I just feel for Victoria. I mean, she does seem so happy, and I think that's why kind of Billy bit his tongue at first, because he sees how happy she is. And, she even let the whole thing with Michelle go. Of course, she didn't know the whole story, but she let it go right away because she really does care for Travis, and she wants to make it work.
Yeah, and I like that. And it is sad because I actually really like their relationship, but her and Billy just have so much more history. They are their kids. But I really don't want to see Travis gone unless Michael O'Rourke, or Michael S. O'Rourke, sorry, wants to do more primetime, which he was on Beauty and the Beast this year and some other stuff, like he'd done Sleepy Hollow. So that's the only way I want to see Travis gone. But I actually think he has chemistry with both of Ashley and Abbey.
Right? I know. I definitely felt the chemistry with Abbey, but I think that would be kind of like a nasty move to go after her sister. I don't know.
But Stitch did it, and that's the only thing is, like, he seems to be fitting in where Stitch was and having chemistry with them after Victoria, and it's like, we've already seen that, but, other than Sharon, who else could we put, Travis with? Because everyone's related.
Right? I know. We need some incest up in here. No, we just need new characters or, I don't know. I don't know who Travis is going to end up with, but I hope they don't write him off.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised that even, obviously we know why they wrote Dylan off, but I was even I wanted his character to stay,
Well, and with Dylan, I guess we'll go into that storyline. I really like how Nick was like, this is for Dylan. He's like, I like you, and they have those heart-to-hearts. It just shows to the character of both of those men. And that, because it's not like they had this brotherly bond growing up. They didn't find out they were half brothers till later in their life. But, Nick understands Dylan's point of view here, just as Dylan understands Nick, and they're really trying to work together. And I like that Dylan just took Faith over there. Like, you know what? No, this is what she wants, and he's like a father to her. And that Nick's like, yeah, I want you a part of their lives. All this, the awkward birthday party was, and bringing Dylan in was about him, not about Sharon.
Yeah, I know. That was I'll talk about the birthday party first. That was the most awkward birthday party in the world. And I was thinking for a moment, I'm like, do you guys realize you're screaming and yelling and saying nasty things in front of your grandchildren?
Yeah.
I mean, they were telling, you need to leave. Victor was telling, you need to leave Sharon right now. It's like, her children are there. No wonder why Faith is so traumatized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because she's the one that knows what's going on.
Yeah.
With Christian and Catherine, they're too young to understand what's up. But Faith knew exactly, and that's why it was kind of bad for Victor and Nikki the way that they acted towards. I mean, because as bad as Sharon is, that is her mom, and and Faith is your grandchild. They should have been thinking about her in that scene.
Yeah, and she even said, she's like, "Did your grandparents talk to you?" And it's like, Sharon, they didn't have to talk to her. She heard what went on.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even want to be around her mom. I started to feel bad for Sharon, but once again, this is a situation where Sharon got herself into this mess. So you can't feel that bad for her. And I think Dylan absolutely made the right decision by bringing her. It's like, she needs to be where she wants to be, her safe place. She's just a little girl, and she shouldn't have to deal with these adult problems, constant yelling. And Sharon needs to work out her stuff. Like, Sharon and Dylan, they need to work out, are we staying together? What's happening? They can't be bickering in front of a little girl.
Yeah, and that's why, Dylan did the right thing in taking her over there, because he knew what was going to be happening. They're, fighting and everything. So he was, this is what's sad is Dylan not having his own children, is he really is a good father. And at least Nick assured him of that, and I liked that. But yeah, I hate that Sharon was the one to throw Dylan out for that. It's like, and that's the thing, it's like, when is Dylan going to get his time to be like, no, bitch, please. No, you leave. Yeah.
I know, Lacretia and I wanted him to be like, no, you leave. You get out of my house. Yeah, Dylan, I mean, it was such a nice moment between him and Faith. I was like, she was like, I love you. And I'm just like, oh,
that's so sweet.
I know, he deserves happiness. You know what I mean? So I want to envision when he leaves the show that he finds love and he actually is a father.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, is maybe that if we can get a good exit storyline for Dylan, with Avery, and maybe she wound up pregnant and just wasn't sure to say anything.
We're dreaming, but please,
because I'd like to see Dylan get at least get a good send off, even if we don't see it. We want to know that he's with Avery, with a child, happy. Because he was a good guy. He didn't deserve any of this, and kudos to Nick for seeing that as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just, Nikki, Not even defending her own son, who was a victim. She said that once to Victor, but when Dylan was actually there, oh no, nothing about that. I'm not going to defend my son or anything. Nick was the one to do it.
Yeah, I thought that was a really, I mean, Victor, he's likable sometimes, but him saying that to Nikki was so not cool. It's like, you can't tell her to pick between her sons. He literally said, well, sometimes you have to pick. It's like, no, she does not have to choose between her sons. She can be a mother to Dylan and a mother to Nick and support one another. And it's like, we all keep forgetting. And yeah, he said that Dylan had to have known that Sharon was lying. How would he have known? Is he like a mind reader or something? He wasn't there, Dr. Anderson wouldn't let him see her. So I mean, everyone was, the wool was pulled over their eyes, including you, Victor.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on.
Yeah, and that's my thing, is like, and shame on Nikki for like barely doing anything about that. She's like, oh no, I want to support both of them, but then when it came to actually doing it, she was silent. And that's the thing, is she's always sort of treated Dylan like crap compared to Nick and Victoria, just like Victor did with Adam. I mean, it's like, yeah, and towards the end they had sort of made up, and I like that, and to me, if that was just the end of the Adam character, that would be good, because they did sort of make up at the end there, but.
Yeah. Well, Nikki did throw a vase at Sharon, so she did that for Dylan. But yeah, it just seems like the Newmans always come first.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing, but I feel like Dylan, maybe that's part of his reasoning for leaving as well. He just doesn't feel welcomed anywhere. And he's definitely the victim in all this. Great acting. I mean, I really feel for him. I really, really feel for him with what he's going through right now.
Yeah, I love Steve Burton. So wherever you go, Steve, since I followed you to this show, I will follow you there.
I will follow you wherever you go, Stevie.
Yeah, because
he's a comedian too, right?
Yep.
I was like thinking
comedian.
that while he was in that moment with Nick, I was like, he's a comedian. He's so like, I love how they give them the comedians such like really like stern, like dark, somber roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny because we have so many. You have Steve Burton, you have Sean Kerrigan, Christian LeBlanc, and Josh Morrow has even performed some with Steve Burton. It's pretty funny. You guys can find those on YouTube, actually.
Look them up. We got comedians on Y&R. Yeah, I mean, Christian LeBlanc is hilarious.
I know. We'll show a clip of him later when we get to news and gossip, since he was on Michelle Stafford, ex-Phyllis's podcast, Single Mama Go-Go. And you may be seeing some familiar faces on there in the coming months.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. But I guess we're going to get back to Y&R. I think we've pretty well talked about everything except how boring Kane and Lily's little moments were. I love Kane and Lily, but like, what are they doing with them? Like, his knee surgery. Oh, I don't want to. I got to work.
That was just like, it's so hard to watch. It's just so unnecessary. It's filler. It's complete filler. It's like, we don't need to see, Kane all loopy. We don't need to see them laying in the hotel bed or the hospital bed together. Maybe in the hotel bed, but not the hospital bed. We don't need to see Lily reading like off Kane's terrible handwriting.
That was just so drab. It's like Victoria and Billy having to do this phone conversation about what to do after the Jabogo app.
We would have much rather seen Victoria and Travis go at it.
Yeah, exactly.
They were about to go at it, and she like interrupted. I was just like, really? I was like, of course, Lily, of course.
Lily, you're just a cloud on a rainy day right now. Please give her something better to do, because we love Crystal. We want to see better stuff for Lily. Have Lily go mix it up with Mariah and Hillary at GC Buzz. Yeah.
Right? Like something. Give her something to do other than just be like Kane's little helper, because she is more than that. She's a strong character, and just in the last like several months, all she's done is give Hillary a hard time or be Kane's little helper.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, we need something. And maybe that her reading Kane's notes and putting those together with the ideas will get her a job at Brass and Chassis, and maybe we could have a little bit of Lily working. That would be good. And say she's having to fill the role of Kane, and then him feeling inadequate. if he can't go to work and she's filling that role. That would be more interesting to see than whatever this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that definitely happening. I think you're once again seeing the future. Because I could definitely see that happen. Him having like a really slow recovery, having to stay at home, and her have to go to work for him. Because she did really come up with some cool ideas there.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Huh?
Oh, I get
Who
that.
are we talking to? Yeah, because it wasn't Kane's scribble. It was Lily. She came up with it.
Yeah, she's the one that put them together.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we did have a little bit of juicy buzz this week, and again, it was more scenes of Devon and Mariah. I told you so.
I was about to say that.
Told you so.
They are. The chemistry is kind
Yeah.
of real. It's like, Hillary's like, why did you change your mind? And then she looks at Devon. It's like, you. Yeah, I mean, it could definitely, I could definitely see them together. And I think, like I said, Devon deserves to be with someone that is nice and caring and not just so all about herself like Hillary. And she talks to him like he's like a piece of nothing. I just don't like, she talks to everyone like they're a piece of nothing. Go get my coffee.
And that's the thing is Hillary needs to be taken down a peg, and who better to do it than Mariah, and more so than her just kicking her ass at work. It's like, I see, because Devon, the way that Mariah and Devon talk to one another is so much better than how Hillary talks to either one of them. They both have this mutual respect, and that's what they need to have, is like mutual respect.
Mutual respect. We have mutual respect.
Yeah, and that's so nice to see. And I feel, as again, they're not like shoving, thrusting into bed. It's just they're starting out with these, scenes, testing the waters.
Yeah, same thing with Nick and Chelsea.
Exactly.
They're not like jumping into bed. It's like, but that's a real connection when you actually bond and have a friendship before, you actually just like jump into, look at what happened to Travis and Michelle. It doesn't work.
Exactly.
I know. I was just realizing that I had my Crimson Lights mug.
Aw.
That's my backpack right now.
That's funny.
I'll grab it on a moment.
But yeah, I think that was it for the week that was, wasn't it? Yeah, I was like, we talked about Jill's brief moments. We got the boring Kane and Lily stuff, even the little bit of juicy buzz. And
Yeah. I mean, it was a good week, but I think next week is going to be really killer.
I think they're going to be ramping up for the end of sweeps there.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. There is a lot that needs to be revealed, and I think it's all going down next week.
Maybe not that Christian is actually Adams. I feel that that's going to linger a bit longer, but I think that everything else is going to start just dwindling down and wrapping up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's get into our news and gossip since we've got some good news. One of my favorite people, Tristan Rogers, is returning as Colin, and hopefully he'll revive his son Kane's storyline that's just so dreadfully boring at the moment. But he'll be here for 4 different shows in December, it looks like, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, like Kane and Lily, they both, I think, need a storyline. So maybe he can, like, ram something up. I don't know.
Yeah, because Colin and Jill can bring some excitement to their life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And a cool event coming up in Toronto on December 4th, Kate Linder's Opportunity. She does these awesome little high teas, usually in Vancouver or Toronto, and this one will be for the March of Dimes. And of course features Christian LeBlanc, Sean Kerrigan, Michael Rourke, and Crystal Cahill. So,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I wish I was in Canada at that time. I always wish I'm in Canada, though.
Yeah, you love Canada. I know, that seems like a really cool thing. So if you're in Canada, hey.
Yeah, December 4th in Toronto, guys. And back to that news about Christian LeBlanc joining Michelle Stafford on Single Mom A Go-Go. I would just love to play the beginning of this clip because Christian sings yet again. And if you've seen on our Facebook page, he sang us a jig at the Y&R panel last week at Paley Center. I love the music.
You have to remember to keep it up here. You have to remember.
He loves to sing.
Yeah.
Race among the stars.
See, she can't even concentrate.
Just when you thought it was safe.
Nobody has sung into the microphone.
Yeah, and I think we'll stop the clip because it's going to get really explicit the more you go into this. I knew, and she warned me, and she's like, yeah, the one with Christian gets really dirty since they're so funny. And yeah, Michelle shoots these at her house, and yeah, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Single Mama Go-Go. Like I said, you may be seeing more familiar faces as we go into the new year.
Yeah, those are so funny. She's had a lot of people from YNR on it.
Yeah, Laura Lee Bell, she had Christoph on there,
Yeah.
like, you know, just different people who she's worked with, and it's
I
so
love
fun, yeah.
Michelle Stafford. I mean, I always envision her. She's Phyllis to me, you know? When I was watching, she was Phyllis, and she played Phyllis so well. But
Yeah, and what I love is, you know, she never hesitates to compliment Gina on her portrayal as well. That's why Michelle's the best, guys.
yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Because she's like, that's business. She's doing a good job, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
So I guess we'll get into our segments then. Speaking of good jobs, swipe right this week.
I miss you, did you love you, mean it by you kiss me, diss me, who the hell?
Guys, it's a swipe right. We're talking love, sex, cheating, scandal in Genoa City. And, you know, Travis may have got down on one knee, and there was a lot of making love in this episode, but I have to give the swipe right to Nick and Chelsea, because we were talking about how you know, their connection, it's so real, and it may be baby steps, no pun intended, but I definitely think that they're going to be a couple in the near future.
Oh, yeah, they have to. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't hooked up yet, but it is nice to see that they're still working on this connection more so than just having them hop in bed together.
Exactly. They're really building a friendship. You see that Chelsea's there for Nick, and he really needs her, like right now. And he listens to her advice. Like, she gives him advice about Sharon, about Faith, and he really kind of takes her advice. He respects her a lot. So they're building that relationship. So I think that they're going to have a strong relationship versus these other couples that just jump in bed together. So that's definitely my swipe right, and swipe left to Michelle. Get out of Genoa City, you're not wanted.
Well, speaking of being not wanted, the loser this week was pretty hard to pick, but I've got to give it a tie for Nikki for not standing by Dylan when he was in the room, and Travis for sleeping with Michelle. I feel like Travis sort of dug himself out of the hole a little bit, a lot thanks to Billy at the end there, but then he was, you know, he didn't tell her the truth. So, God, Travis, why do you not tell Victoria the truth, and then you could be a good guy and not a loser? But my winner this week, it was a hard one too, because it was between Billy and Nick. But when Nick brought even Sharon into that birthday party, I was like, God, you're the best person. What was that? Because she's awful, man. She took your kid. She lied about it for months, but you were such a big person to bring her into that birthday party.
Yeah, I definitely think the loser has to go to Travis. I mean, come on. Sleeping with your ex-girlfriends, I don't even know if she is considered an ex-girlfriend, is not good at all. So I definitely think he's the loser, and Nikki should have absolutely stood up for her son. So
Yeah, I know.
winner goes to Dylan always for me. I mean, come on.
Dylan really took it, you know, pretty good. But I was like, the fact that Nick even let Sharon go to that birthday party, I was like, wow, dude.
Yeah.
You make
But
the rest of us look
it was
bad.
a spicy week in Genoa City.
Yes, it is. And I guess we'll go into some quick predictions before we head out.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I predict by New Year's Eve, Nick and Chelsea are going to do it.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
Yep, I'm just going into it.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my prediction. You're always
Yeah.
right with the predictions. I'm always so wrong, so I'm not even going to do my predictions. I'm just going to agree with Lacretia because she's always right, and yeah.
I'm not always right, but
I'm not
close.
always right. You're always right, even though I've been giving them my swipe right. So swipe right to Nick and Chelsea. Come on, get it together.
And let's swipe right on Devon and Mariah, because I've been saying it for so long, and it is finally going to happen, because he's going to dump Hillary.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would love Hillary to get dumped, you know, and see her facial expression. She's just not a nice person. We need good people.
I know. We only like good people in Genoa City, unless they are good at being bad, like Victor.
Victor, yeah, he's legend. Victor Newman.
Well, that is it for this week's Restless Wrap-Up, guys. Be sure to like us on Facebook, put that thumbs up on YouTube, 5 stars on iTunes, whatever you want to do. You can find us anywhere, like SoundCloud, Google Play. We'll try to figure out how to read those reviews on Google Play right now, since I'm not an Android user. I've yet to find those, but there's a way. We will find them. And I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys. You can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And where can they keep up the conversation with you, Abby?
Hi, guys. If you would love to be my BFF, follow me at AbbeyScott1. And thank you guys for always tuning in. And yes, give us like a thumbs up. And share us with everyone, with all of your friends.
All right. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
GC, buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.